Hello, Canucks fans. Welcome back to the episode of Canucks Conversation, brought to you by Bet365. My name is Dave Quadrelli. I'm joined by Harman Dial. Harman, how was the weekend? Very sunny out here.
It was awesome. Enjoyed the sunshine on Saturday, and of course, tuned into both playoff games. Classic, historic Game 7s that we're going to remember for a really, really long time.
I think that's the theme of it, is just that Game 7s are awesome. Game 7s are great. And although we picked a lot of Game 7s in our first round playoff picks, there weren't as many as we thought. And the one we're really going to focus on was yesterday. Winnipeg making the comeback. Oh my goodness. Winnipeg making the comeback. Bert, center up. You got to come here. Winnipeg making the comeback against the St. Louis Blues. Now I have to bring Bert on the show because rules are rules. Winnipeg making the comeback against the St. Louis Blues. And in the final minute, too, the final seconds of the game, making that comeback against the St. Louis Blues. That one was just incredible.
It reminded me of Game 4 between Vancouver and Nashville when the Canucks were down 3-1. Similar situation where they only had 3 minutes or so left on the clock. And, of course, Brock Besser scored twice in dramatic fashion. That game was so memorable, too, because Colton Sissons had the opportunity to bury it when the Preds were still up 3-1, and he hit the post on that backhand opportunity, which just added to the drama. And for Besser to score twice, then Lindholm got the OT winner. That single-handedly, in my mind, flipped the momentum of that series. It would have been the difference between 3-1, which ended up being the result in the series that the Canucks had, where they had a clear sort of a stranglehold on it, versus 2-2 Nashville's 1-2 straight. You have Archer Shilov's in net.
No, you got to bring Cash on.
It's dog conversation.
I don't know what's going
today.
on. He's indoors, but anyway, it reminded me of Game 4, the way Winnipeg came back and won that.
Okay, now while you go quiet your dog, I'll start talking because I got a few things. And Jacob, I'll run this theory by you. Connor Hellebuyck, okay, wasn't spectacular by any means, made some big saves in overtime. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, he looked good in overtime, but I think the Jets still carried most of the play.
Absolutely.
But, when your goalie has been struggling the way Hellebuyck was, when you get into that overtime, there was a few saves he had to make where he was able to come out, challenge. There was no traffic. He was dealing with shots from a distance, and it let him feel the puck a little bit. I'll admit, watching that, I was nervous for Jets fans early in the overtime. I'm like, oh, man, is it just going to be like a little squeaker or fluttering puck that gets past him? But, by the end of that first overtime, I thought, okay, this is Connor Hellebuyck looks fine. He's not going to give up some horrendous goal that we talk about for generations that cost them this game. If they lose this game, it's something that the team does. And honestly, he looked solid after that point.
So my theory that I'm going to run by you guys is that if you're a Jets fan, the thing you're hoping for is that Connor Hellebuyck's playoff demons only apply to the first round. Have the Jets been to the second round with Hellebuyck?
Yeah.
Yes, they went to a conference final.
Yeah.
In the year Vegas lost to Washington.
Yeah, a million years ago. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm saying
and
they hoping the playoff demons.
And they also went to the second round against Montreal in 2021 in the North Division. Playoffs.
Okay. So you're hoping that the playoff demons only exist in the first round because these past few years have been. Here's the thing. Back then, this playoff Hellebuyck stuff wasn't really a story. It wasn't, right?
It developed into one because of the last few years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So now you're hoping he can slay these demons.
Or it could be like the Maple Leafs, when it's if they just get out of the first round, and then remember the one year they got out of the first round and then got whooped by Florida in 5 games.
Yeah, we all did say that. What are you thinking for round 2, Florida, Toronto? I want to quickly get your pick here, and we're going to do full picks in a second, but I wanted to get yours just on this round because this one starts today.
Panthers in 6.
I have Panthers in 5.
Could happen.
Yeah. Panthers are just and I think there's a real legitimate case that the Tampa Bay Lightning were the second or third best team to play in these playoffs. And the Panthers just made them look like children. It was unbelievable how well the Panthers played in that first round. And I think that was one of the best opponents they were going to face all along. And let's be honest here. Who is a better playoff team, Tampa or Toronto? I think you take Tampa 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, the only reason I could see the Leafs making it close is because Stolarz was really solid in the first round. The Leafs haven't had that kind of goaltending in playoffs past.
True.
Did the Lightning.
Yeah.
Vasilevsky was a letdown in round one. So that's the only reason I'm still giving the Leafs a bit of a fighting chance in that series. But yeah, teams around the NHL should be terrified looking at the way Florida flipped the switch and just steamrolled the Lightning.
We're going to get to our playoff picks in a second here. Before that, though, I want to tell everybody about our Super Chats and our Super Chat charity partner this season, the BC Mental Health Foundation. You want to make sure your question or comment gets on the show? Hit us with a Super Chat. Proceeds from our Super Chat will go to the BC Mental Health Foundation, changing the face of mental health and addiction by supporting breakthroughs in care, public understanding, research, and knowledge exchange. Okay, so I'm just getting a notification right now, just for a heads up for you two, that I've got an automatic update coming to my computer in 10 minutes. This is my work computer, and they do updates whenever they please. So I might have an update in 10 minutes, which would mean I need to restart my computer. So Jacob and you will have to riff if that happens. But hopefully that's not an issue. Okay, let's move on here. So the Game 7s, yes, lots and lots of fun. Did you have any other takeaways from the Game 7s we saw? We haven't even gotten into Dallas, Colorado yet. What a storybook for Mikko Rantanen. I did not think that the Stars were even going to make a series of that, and I'll own that right away. I picked Colorado from the start, but then after the first couple games, I was like, oh yeah, Colorado's going to steamroll them. Dallas just can't put up a fight without Heiskanen, without Robertson. Now they're looking at getting Heiskanen and Robertson back for the second round, and those boys did it. They're into the second round. Mikko Rantanen, what a period for him.
He's beating he's just a Nathan MacKinnon merchant allegations. If they lost and he had a quiet series, oh man, the pitchforks would have been out for him because he didn't find his traction in Carolina. Down the stretch with Dallas, he was only okay. He was around a point per game, but that's not what you expect from sort of franchise superstar type of winger. And then through the first few games of the series, he was awfully quiet. And not just, he's not producing, but you barely noticed him in the first 2-3 games of the series. And so he needed this really badly for his reputation, not just in Dallas, but around the NHL. And it's just so funny to me, the people that were dunking on Rantanen for being a MacKinnon merchant immediately turning around and dunking on the Avs for, how could you give away a superstar franchise winger like that? It's just the hypocrisy was something else online.
Okay, so we don't have to do our picks. Let's save our picks. Do you have anything else you want to say about that series? I did find Nathan MacKinnon's post-game comment very telling, and he's a very honest guy. You've seen that over the years in Colorado, but for those that missed it, and what we're talking about is 4 points for Mikko Rantanen in the third period. He picks up a hat trick. One of them was an empty net goal, but still picks up a hat trick all in the third period. 4 points in the third period as the Stars come back and beat the Avs in Game 7. They're on to round 2. The Avs are going home. And MacKinnon, raw emotion, post-game, was talking about how he doesn't know where they go from there because they just lost to Dallas without their best defenseman and their best forward. And he just said, I don't really know where we go from here. I don't know. I look at that as a pretty raw response. The Avs are still going to be contenders. Like, the Avs can still build. The Avs can still do things around Nathan MacKinnon. I know he was sad in the moment, but I'm not buying that idea of, I don't know what to do now.
Yeah, 100% agree. They'll be back, but man, they'll be hoping they can avoid Dallas in future playoff years because the Stars at this point clearly own them.
Yes. And Mikko Rantanen, like, dude, that's the other thing is it's Mikko Rantanen. It was Mikko Rantanen who felt slighted by the trade, didn't see it coming. His teammates on Colorado, MacKinnon being one of them, wasn't told about the trade. All this stuff that happened surrounding the trade. Rantanen wanted to stick it to them, but you didn't think it was going to happen because he was not bad. He was average in Dallas. He was painfully average in Dallas, as you said earlier. So for him to have that third period, that was wild, honestly. And look, that was a storybook. Just like the Jets game was a storybook, and I feel robbed that we're only getting those 2 Game 7s because, man, oh man, those were really, really good.
Another key takeaway from the first round of these playoffs is just seeing how many teams dealt with key injuries. And it was a really interesting test of who can overcome these absences and things just in general going wrong. And I think it goes to show just how deep and stacked your rosters need to be, where you look at the way Winnipeg won that game 7, no Mark Scheifele for game 6 or 7. Josh Morrissey exited game 7 really early. They were down to 5 defensemen. Nick Ehlers and Gabe Vilardi missed games early in the first round against the Blues as well. Despite all those factors, they found a way to gut through and pull out a victory. The Stars, we talked about getting it done against the vaunted Colorado team without Heiskanen and Robertson. The Oilers, how many question marks did they have going into the series? I'll be honest, I was skeptical about the Oilers' chances of beating the Kings this time around. No Matthias Ekholm, namely, their best defenseman, the guy who stabilizes Bouchard defensively, not to mention the depth concerns and the goaltending, and yet apparently when you have McDavid and Draisaitl, it doesn't matter because they can single-handedly win you games. But it also, on the other hand, showed you it wasn't just the teams that, these guys had injuries and faced adversity and they overcame it. There were other teams that sort of became exposed because of those problems. Going back to the Tampa series, we thought their forward depth concerns were solved because they went out and got Bjorkstrand and Gord, but then Bjorkstrand isn't playing the first round and Hagel gets hurt. So because of that, especially against a Panthers team that could roll out Lundell and Marchand on the third line, the discrepancy between each team's forward depth was so significant. And then the Devils as well. No Jack Hughes. They had just no juice offensively against the Carolina Hurricanes. So it's just a reminder of things are going to go wrong in the playoffs. You need many different avenues of being able to win hockey games, or just like a game-breaking superstar that, like Rantanen, like McDavid and Draisaitl, can just put your team on the back and take you all by themselves.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice? Okay. Anything else on Game 7s? I want to get to this Adam Foote stuff. It's the subject of our poll question. We'll do our playoff picks after that.
Yeah, one more interesting piece of trivia, though. Do you want to guess who the 3 highest scoring Canucks were in the playoffs last year? Points-wise.
Okay. JT Miller, Brock Besser, and Quinn Hughes.
Elias Lindholm.
Was he's the third? I got the first two right.
Hughes was tied. But yeah, it's those 3 essentially. Brock, JT, Elias Lindholm. I was just thinking about the fact that with Besser unlikely to re-sign, the Canucks are going to have none of them next season.
Let's get to our poll question. Brought to you by Pacific Toyota dealers who want to tell you about the 100% electric Toyota BZ4X. An SUV packed with plenty of space, the BZ4X can handle any terrain and can take you from the city to the slopes. It's backed by the peace of mind that comes with knowing you're driving a Toyota, and if you're driving a BZ4X, you get access to HOV lanes even if you're driving alone. When you choose the BZ4X, you can get $6,500 in rebates and incentives, and now you can finance a 2025 BZ4X from 0.99% APR for 36 months. Visit shoptoyota.ca or your local Pacific Toyota dealer today. All right, 2 minutes on this countdown of when my computer is going to restart, so you guys might have to carry this, but I'll give some context here. This was from Elliot Friedman on 32 Thoughts today, and it was about Adam Foote. And of course, Adam Foote, the Canucks assistant coach this season, the guy that Rick Tocchet hired and brought to Vancouver. And I don't know if everybody knows this. I'll quickly give backstory on this. The reason Tocchet brought Foote to Vancouver, you look at Adam Foote's elite prospects page of his coaching career. It was 1 year in the WHL. They were a horrible team. I was talking to some WHL folks today, and Jacob, you might be able to speak on this too. They were just saying like that's not a way to evaluate Adam Foote as a coach. That roster was awful.
Yeah, they were
Whoever
really
coached
bad.
That team was going to have a lot of trouble with that Kelowna Rockets team.
Yeah, they'd gone like all in to make playoff pushes in previous years. They traded basically all of their draft picks, and you see that in junior hockey, like with some of those good teams. They'll have 1 or 2 years where they're just awful because they traded picks and picks and picks and picks to try and go on a run.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was not a great indication of Adam Foote's first kick at the can of coaching. But then again, his next chance came with the Canucks, and that was because Rick Tocchet and him were friends, and they would text each other a lot about the game. And Adam Foote was keeping up with the NHL big time, and Rick Tocchet had a lot of good things to say about him upon hiring. Obviously, that didn't change over Tocchet and Foote's tenure together in Vancouver. We saw a report last week from Frank Saravalli that Adam Foote was going to be getting head coaching consideration with all the openings around the league. Now we see this report from Friedman, which says, first of all, he's a really smart guy. That's number one. But number two, I'd be curious to see if that was something that would sort of be Quinn Hughes approved. They're close to, they have a good relationship. Foote has really helped Hughes improve as a player, given him good advice, and they bounce things off each other very well. I wouldn't be surprised if, in addition to the fact that I think he knows hockey really well, that would have Foote on Vancouver's shortlist. So basically what he's saying, Adam Foote could be considered for the Canucks' next head coach. And we have some breaking news. Apparently the Canucks Twitter account got hacked.
Yes, the Canucks Twitter account, like 10 seconds ago, is it could be legit, but let's be real here. And there goes Quads. I'll turn my camera on here. Yeah, the Canucks Twitter account, like 10 minutes ago or 10 seconds ago, posting some crypto stuff. So it looks like their Twitter has been compromised, unless they happen to actually be pushing some crypto, but I highly doubt it. It does look like
whoever hacked it put a lot of effort into this graphic too.
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is bad.
Like, it's just good enough that someone might see it and think it's legit, but it's clearly not. Yeah. So hey, what a fun day. Quad's computer is updating. He'll be back in a few minutes, but yeah, we've got Harman and I have something fun to talk about here.
I'm just gonna read it out because this is pure comedy. The first NHL team to ever do this: pre-sale :live, send, and then it's like some minimum 0.1 Solana coin to maximum 0.5 Solana coin, and then to some like crypto address, capped, and then the tokens will be distributed within 24 hours. I don't know. Apparently it's some sort of giveaway.
Yeah. So I'm going to put it up on screen. Please, anybody watching this, do not send any crypto to
Please
this.
Don't.
We're putting it up on screen for the purpose of reporting some breaking news, obviously. But there we go. So hopefully the Canucks can get access back to their Twitter account.
It's down now.
It's down. Okay. So
Thankfully.
there we go. Yeah. They were on it quick. But yeah, there you go.
Someone's getting in trouble. I feel bad.
Yeah. And chat reacting obviously to this news. Now before looks like Quads is back. He's ready to go. There we go. I'll let him continue his discussion on Adam Foote. We brought it up on screen, Quads, but it looks like that post has been taken down off of the Canucks Twitter account. So hopefully whoever was responsible is
Just got
punished.
posted again. They just posted it again.
Okay, so
So
there we go.
Follow this story. The same post was just made again. Oh no, that's. I was gonna say like, oh good, they're on it quick. They were able to get into their account 2 minutes later and delete it. Yeah, that's tough. What happens if an NHL team gets hacked? How does that
I don't
work?
know. I can only imagine the panic at the Rogers Arena offices right now, though.
We go live to Chris Faber. No. I wonder if he's in the office. Maybe. Yeah. Anyways, okay.
Get the inside scoop.
Yeah. Give us the scoop on the account getting hacked. Okay. What were we talking about before that? Oh yeah, Adam Foote. Adam Foote. It was
Adam Foote and his Kelowna Rockets team. Yeah.
How far did I get into the Friedman thing? Talking about that.
Like halfway.
Yeah.
Roughly?
Cool. So bring up the Friedman quote again. Friedman talking about Adam Foote potentially being an option on the short list for Canucks' next head coach. And that's something I didn't really think of last week when we saw the report of, Foote getting head coaching stuff. But even before that, I think we all just assumed, and we even said it, you, me, and Patrick Johnson said it on this show, that we were just like, well, if Rick Tocchet's going to work somewhere, Adam Foote's going with him. But would Foote want to take a job as the head coach of the Canucks? I think maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a head coaching opportunity. It pays a lot more. It's higher profile. Of course, it doesn't matter. In most instances, when you have an assistant coach, no matter how closely tied he is to his head coach and has a great relationship sort of in the sort of Foote and Tocchet mold, you get a head coaching opportunity. It's a different ball game. Guys will usually take that type of chance, take that type of opportunity. The bigger question, of course, is how suitable he is for the role, right? We know he's done a terrific job handling the defenseman. Quinn Hughes has leveled up his game underfoot. He's turned around Tyler Myers' game. There are a lot of positive things that Foote has done, and he is highly regarded by Canucks players. But I don't know how confident I'd be about his potential success as a head coach. His experience, obviously, in Kelowna was limited, and say what you want about being dealt a tough hand. It still wasn't a great season for Kelowna, and it says something that he was fired after just 1 year. Now, beyond that, too, he had no experience as an assistant before this most recent gig with the Canucks. So compared to Manny Malhotra, for example, Manny's got 7 years of experience as an assistant across 2 different organizations, the Canucks and the Leafs. Plus, he has guided a really successful AHL season down in Abbotsford. The Foote doesn't have that type of track record. So to me, I'd still lean towards Manny. But I can understand why Foote would be a candidate and would be a consideration. Somebody you interview at the very least.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was the subject of our poll question. Let's bring it up, Jacob. It was basically just, who would you rather have as the Canucks next head coach? Adam Foote, Manny Malhotra, and we gave an other option as well. 57.1% say Manny Malhotra, 24.9% say Adam Foote, and 18% say other. I like Manny. I've been saying it for a while. I feel like I say it every episode now. I really like Manny Malhotra, so I'm going with that. Apparently, there's more. Oh no! The Canucks just tweeted it in all capital letters. ElonMusk5.com. Nobody click that link. If you're watching this show, do not click any of those links.
Well, and it looks like all of their posts have been deleted as well. Like previous posts have been deleted. So
no.
Yeah. Now X does have like backups for big accounts like this. You know, the Canucks account has 1.1 million followers. They will get it back and figure it out, but it's just it's not a good look for your NHL team account to be compromised like this. You know, this is the kind of thing you would see occasionally on Twitter, but yeah, not good when you have an NHL team account that falls into hackers' hands.
Not good. Okay. Yeah. That's just crazy. Oh man, I cannot keep up. Okay, there's a lot of posts coming from the Canucks Twitter account. Don't click on any of them. It's stupid. I have to turn off post notifications for the Canucks now. This is insane. There's like 8 tweets. I don't want to see any of these. Okay. All right. I just deleted it. All right. We're good. Okay. It's hard to recover after that. I just can't believe that's happening to them. That actually sucks in all seriousness. I hope that gets worked out soon. Okay. Before we move on to our second round playoff picks, I want to tell you about Greta Bar YVR, the home of our electric watch parties during the season, and a great spot to watch whatever big sporting event is on, which could be the Stanley Cup playoffs. You should go watch the playoffs at Greta. It's a great spot to be. They've got the arcade games. They've got the bar. They've got the iconic street food menu. Make sure you try the smash burger and watch some playoff games. They got a bunch of big screens, not a bad seat in the house. It's a great place to be. Make it your spot to chill next time you're downtown. 50 West Cordova Street is the address. Let the games begin. All right, let the second round playoff series picks begin, Harm. Let's go through. Jacob, did you have time?
So thank you to Canucks Army intern Jacob Fraser, who was able to go through and collect all of our picks. Do you want to go through and see how we did in round one?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. So for the Jets Blues quads, you had Blues in 7. Harm, you and I both picked the Jets. I had them in 7. You had them in 6. So there we go. I'm 1 for 1. It won't stay.
Keep track of how many
promise.
you get right. Keep track of your own. Okay, how many you get right. Okay, Harm, you got it.
Yeah.
Avs Stars. We all picked the Avs. Quads and I had them in 6. Harm, you had them in 7. Obviously, Dallas takes that one in 7. For Vegas, Minnesota, we all picked Vegas in 5. It was Vegas in 6, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, Vegas in 6.
Kings, Oilers. We all picked the Kings. Harm, you and I had them in 7. Quads, you had them in 6. So none of us were able to get that one, obviously. Moving over to the Eastern Conference. Quads, you picked the Sens in 7. Harm, you took the Leafs in 6. I took the Leafs in 5. So Harm gets that one dead on, but he and I both get the correct winner. For the Battle of Florida, Quads, you took Panthers in 7. Harm and I both were big on Tampa, taking them in 7. So point to Quads there for
Got one.
his Florida Panthers. Habs and Capitals. Harm nailed it. He got Caps in 5. Quads and I both said Habs in 7. And finally, for Carolina, New Jersey, we all took the Canes in 5. So Quads, you, I believe, went 2 for 8.
Oh, I hit. What was the second?
I feel like just do it based off who won the series.
Yeah,
Nailing the
that's it.
exact game.
No. That, but just
I still think I only got one.
I know you got Vegas and you got Carolina.
Oh, okay. So the two.
No, but you got
easiest
Florida
ones.
too.
Oh, and Florida. Yes, there you go. Okay, so you
3.
went 3 for 8. Harm,
Perfect.
Harm, you went 5, and I got 5 as well. No, I think I got 4. So there
Okay.
we go.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's time for me to lock in. Let's do our second round picks, fellas. I'll start it off. Florida, Toronto. I already said it. Florida in 5. Harmon's got Florida in 6. Jacob, yours.
Is it crazy that I'm gonna pick Toronto in 7?
No, that's a fair pick.
I'm gonna
Go
pick
for it.
Toronto in
Hot
7.
take, but go
Like
for it.
I think their goaltending is going to be the difference for them.
Yeah, I like it. Okay. Next series is Carolina, Washington. I'm gonna go Washington, and I'm gonna say Washington in 6.
I'm going Canes in 6.
I'm going to go Canes in 6 as well.
Jacob, make sure an intern writes these down while we're doing them, so no one has to go back.
Yes, there we go.
Okay. Next series, Edmonton, Vegas. I'm riding with the Oil here. I'm saying Oilers in 7.
Me too. Oilers in 7.
I'll give them Oilers in 6.
Nice. Wow, we all like the Oilers there. I thought
You
it
know
was
what
going
it
to
is?
be. Yeah, tell me.
You know what it is? I was really high on Vegas coming into the playoffs, and I still think the Golden Knights could take the Oilers down. Oilers still have flaws. Eckham's still out, but seeing the level that the Oilers hit in the middle of that series, they've peaked right now. Whereas the Golden Knights had a little bit of an underwhelming first round against Minnesota, I thought. The Wild made it a lot closer than they should have. It looked like at one point the Wild might actually win that series. It took a while for Eichel to get going. He did at the end, but he's otherwise sort of been quiet through these playoffs. That's sort of why I'm leaning towards the Oilers, even though this series is a coin flip.
Fair enough. I think that's going to be the closest series out of the ones we've listed so far. Dallas, Winnipeg. That's the last one to do, right?
Yep.
Dallas, Winnipeg. Okay. I gotta ride with my Jets. I'm going Jets in 7. Even though I didn't pick them in the first round, I'm going Jets in 7 here.
I'm going Stars in 7.
I'm also going to go Stars in 7. I want to see Winnipeg win, but if Dallas gets their injured guys back, Robertson, Heiskanen, like that team could be something special. So I'll go.
It looks like they are going to be back.
Yes. So I'm going to go Dallas in 7.
Okay. Good job, boys. Did we write that down?
I will make sure one of the interns goes back and jots this all down after the show.
Excellent. All right. Let's get to anyone else, which is brought to you by the Vancouver Canadians, who just wrapped up a homestand. And I should actually know this off the top of my head, but are the Canadians at home this week? Usually in that league, they go back and forth. All I know, and I can tell you right now about the Vancouver Canadians, is that Arjun Nimala is absolutely tearing it up right now. He is the youngest player in the league. I think he's leading the league in homers. He's absolutely thriving right now. Again, a high draft pick for the Jays. He's in Vancouver right now. You're not going to get to see him long, is what I'm saying. So whenever the Seas play their next home game, make sure you buy your tickets and go see Arjun Nimala before it's too late. That kid looks special. Jacob, you've seen him play.
Yes, I have. And I was just putting in the chat. The Seas are in Spokane this week. They're back home on May 13th versus Everett.
Oh, they got an Asahi celebration night. The Vancouver Asahi, the Japanese. There's been the commercials about them too, the Heritage Minutes. Also, I haven't. It's never come up on the show. I love the new Heritage Minutes. You've seen these, right, on streaming?
Mm-hmm.
No.
What?
Oh, wait. What do you mean the Heritage Minutes?
They do like recreations.
Oh, yeah.
There's one of like the Winnipeg Falcons. There's one of
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Terry
Yeah, no,
Fox,
I know what you mean.
Right? right? Okay, I'm loving these. I think they're great. I think it's so cool. I didn't know that insulin was invented in Canada or discovered in Canada. I love these. It's
Did you not
great.
pay attention in high school?
I paid attention. Just did some different courses. I was, I don't retain everything. Harm. Okay. Yeah. So the Seas are back home against Everett next Tuesday. So you gotta wait a bit, but you're still gonna get a chance to see Arjun Amala. Hopefully, do that while you still can, because I don't think the kid's gonna be here very long. He's off to a very, very hot start. To get your tickets, call 604-872-5232 or check out CanadiansBaseball.com. Okay, this one from Cali Canuck. I don't know the answer to this, so we're going to put Jacob on it. Any word on the injured Jets returning? Because we've talked about how they're going to get Haskin and they're going to get Robertson back in Dallas, but are the Jets going to get some of their injured players back? Jacob's going to look for that. Lot of reaction to the Canucks Twitter account being hacked. And Canucks PR just tweeted out an update. Here we go. Please note that the Canucks Twitter/X account has been compromised. Please disregard any recent posts until further notice. We're working with the platform and the NHL to resolve the issue as quickly as possible.
Never a dull day in Vancouver.
Dude, like, you know what? And those staff, the staff that's there today, like, oh, Monday, Jim Rutherford hasn't spoken yet this week. There's really not much going on. We can just, you know what? It's 2:00. I might head home early. I'm going to head home early. 2:00. I've been here for a while. I'm going to head home early. And then this bomb drops. Like, I feel for the staffers that are dealing with this. Even though I did send a text to Chris being like, why are you pushing your meme coin on everyone, Chris?
I will say I feel for PR in terms of how many fires they've had to put out this season.
Chris texted me back, sent with Siri. I'm driving back from Abbotsford. Why are so many people texting me about crypto? So I'll fill Chris in a minute here. But that does suck. That does suck.
So I've got some Jets news. I haven't found anything on Scheifele yet, but Morrissey is going to be evaluated today. There was really no update, and we don't know about Morrissey. The fact that he's being evaluated today, they seem to think he could be back in time for the start of the second round, but obviously nothing has been confirmed yet.
Thank you for that, Jacob. Okay. No more. Okay. Anyone else's are just like, what do you guys think of the meme coin that they're just stop? And I hope no one actually was silly enough to click on those links. Like, what are you doing? Come on. I hope no one.
If you're trying to put on a scam,
if you're trying
to put on a believable scam, first of all, why a meme coin? Like, immediately you really think fans are going to believe that a professional sports team is pushing out a meme coin?
Quinn Hughes was on it.
Look, I'm no expert at designing scams, but all I'm saying is if you were trying to fool people, and honestly, like, it's a good thing that they sort of did it in this clunky and obvious of a way so that people aren't hopefully falling for it. But
listen up, everyone. Harman's going to lay out how to hack an NHL team's account here. Go ahead, Harm.
No, but seriously, you should have put like Bitcoin or Ethereum or something that people actually use.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. No, thank you. So hackers, if you're listening to this next time, just there you go. Harman will give you some more pointers whenever you need it. How many years away are we from? I feel like the technology's already there for like a deep fake video of Quinn Hughes just being like, "Hi, I'm Quinn Hughes, and I love this coin."
Not
like,
far.
That message he sent, they filmed for the Ovechkin video. That looked like AI, but that was actually him. And they could just repackage that.
It just astonishes me that you could be smart enough to hack the account, but dumb enough to make your tweet that obvious of a scam. Again, it's a good thing because it means people hopefully aren't falling for it. But imagine being such a genius that you could break into the Canucks Twitter account, but then put out the most obvious scam of a tweet.
So stupid. Okay. Cynical in the chat said, how many Bitcoins will it take to win the cup? Cali Canucks said 3 Oilers picks. Is that a reverse jinx? We'll see. I think we're all buying it right now. I like it. Okay. This one from Yeah, Jacob had this actually in our chat. Phil Pronik and Marcus Pettersson going to the Worlds. I like that. Isn't Marcus Pettersson the captain of Team Sweden? Did I not see that right?
I don't know if I saw that or not.
Yeah, and I wouldn't imagine that he is. This is a home tournament for Sweden, so they're getting a lot of their NHL guys. I don't think Marcus Pettersson. He might get an A, but I don't think he's going to be the captain.
That would be so funny. Move over Victor Hedman, Marcus Pettersson.
Crosby and Fleury going to Worlds as well.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yes. So that's happening. And also Tom Willander not going. Didn't make the team for Team Sweden. That was on Canucks Army today as well, if you want to go read about it. Okay. Our chat is just, it feels like we got hacked because our chat is just flooded with people telling me about their meme coin and deep fake videos. Enough for this. Okay. I hope the Canucks get their account back, and I hope I never have to hear about, I hope I never say the word meme coin on Canucks Convo ever again. That's what I really hope. Okay. Jacob had something for us as well. The lottery sim. It's the draft lottery tonight. Canucks can move up to 5th, and Jeff was asked about it in the mailbag, so he wrote about it over at CanucksArmy.com. What the Canucks should do if they get the 5th overall pick in tonight's draft. Very, very slim chance that happens. Jacob's going to pull up a draft lottery and see if we can make it happen. But the draft lottery is tonight at 4 p.m. Pacific, so make sure that you don't miss it. We'll see what happens on our simulator here. Let's go, Jacob.
So before we do it, you can see the Canucks have a 0.5% chance of winning the lottery, which would move them up to 5th. Best odds are with San Jose, who finished the season 0-7-3. They're at 18.5%. And obviously they have a 25.5% chance of retaining 1st overall. All right, here we go. Lots of movement, but none for the Vancouver Canucks.
So in this one, Columbus jumps up. Holy smokes. Columbus jumps up 10 spots. Seattle jumps up 4 spots. So the draft order is San Jose, Seattle, Columbus, Chicago, Nashville, Philadelphia, Boston, Buffalo, Anaheim, Pittsburgh, New York, Detroit, Utah, Vancouver, and of course, Montreal, taking Calgary's pick. Okay.
You know what? Chicago and Boston dropped 2 slots in
That's
that
a great
simulation,
scenario.
So that's good news.
It's a great scenario.
We'll take it.
Yeah. There is a small chance that the Canucks can go down a spot. People in the chat are asking. Very, very small chance that the Canucks could go down in the lottery, but very small.
Yeah, so the only way that happens is if Calgary wins the lottery, which, funny enough, if they win the lottery, they move up, then the pick does not go to Montreal because it was the condition on that pick was top 10. So if that were to happen, then Montreal would get Calgary's 1st rounder next year. So a lot of moving parts if Calgary were to win the lottery. They would keep their pick and Vancouver would move down to 16.
Predictions on who's going to actually win the 1st overall pick tonight. You can say San Jose. It's the most likely outcome. I'm saying Chicago wins it.
Yuck, I would hate that outcome.
I think the whole thing's rigged, and they need something to keep Connor Bedard happy in Chicago.
San Jose, the vibes have been good there all year.
Yeah,
fair enough. Jacob,
I'm gonna say Seattle wins it, and they'll have their pick of Schaefer or Misa out there in Seattle.
We'll close it on this. Anyone else from NAR? He said, "Hey, maybe if this Canuck crypto hits, I can recover my losses from the Hawk Tua coin." Sentences I did not think I would ever say on a hockey podcast. Let's get to our Bet365 bet of the day, which is brought to you by Bet365. We talked about it. Game 1, Florida versus Toronto. That goes tonight. And we all picked all right. No, Jacob picked the Leafs. Harman and I picked the Panthers. But man, oh man, those Leafs are underdogs at home. They're riding high. They just got out of the 1st round again. They're riding high. I'm going to go with Leafs here. I'm going to go Leafs. This is going to be the one win they get in the series. It's going to be at home. It's going to happen tonight. I am taking Leafs money line at plus 105 odds. You can get that over at Bet365. And if you want to get in on the action for the Stanley Cup playoffs at Bet365, they've got you. From game props, player props, totals, and the money line, you can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, the Stanley Cup champions, and much, much more. Whatever your bet is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. An official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Must be 90 plus to play. If you choose to play, please play responsibly. All right, we will wrap it up there. For my co-host Harman Dial and our technical producer Jacob Lazar, my name is Dave Widrelli. Thanks so much for this episode of Canucks Conversation.
Canucks Conversation is live Monday through Friday, every weekday at 2 p.m. over on the Canucks Army YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, and interact in the YouTube live chat every day.